Ladies and gentlemen, there's something we need to talk about like right away. First, to preface this a little bit, I think the idea in theory is a good idea. And what I'm talking about is Nintendo Switch games getting official Switch 2 versions. So not Switch 2 upgrades, but essentially just a better version of the game that was on the Switch with some added stuff packed in, right? On the surface, that sounds like a great idea. And so far, I mean, it has been a good idea. Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 2 it's an entirely new game, at least it feels that way. I didn't pick up Breath of the Wild like the Switch 2 version, but I'm just gonna assume it's the same thing, right? It's a great experience. Now, tomorrow we're having a brand new game get the same treatment, and that is Mario Party Jamboree, and I think it might be called Plus Mario Party Jamboree TV or something like that. Personally, I wasn't gonna pick it up because I just got Mario Party Superstars, and it's like a collection of every Mario Party, and I'm really enjoying that. But I was very curious and optimistic, and I thought, this is going to be great. You're getting a Switch 1 game, but with better graphics and better performance, and then essentially some DLC as well, and some mouse control stuff, and this is fantastic. How could this be a bad deal? Not only is it a bad deal, I think it's pretty much a scam, and I gotta tell you why. Yeah, most of the time, anything Nintendo, I talk pretty positive about it, or I praise it, or I'm optimistic. I cannot let this go by without talking about it, because I love my audience, I love my community, my subscribers. I do not want you guys to waste your money. You know, I never tell people how to spend their money. It's your money. If you want to throw it in the trash, be my guest. But I would feel bad if I just didn't say something, right? So yeah, that's what we got to go over. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. We're less than 200 subscribers away from 20K, so if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. But let's get into the issue. Like I was saying, on the surface you would think, well, since this is a Switch 2 version, it's the Switch 1 game with better performance, better graphics, maybe some other stuff added, and then you're getting the DLC technically, which is more mini games, mouse control stuff, some really cool game chat stuff, and that's going to be the definitive way to play Mario Party Jamboree. But that is not the case. Shout out to IGN for pointing this out, because obviously I have not played this, but I watched their video and I'm very happy I did. They are bamboozling you. Nintendo is crazy for this. When you bought Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 2, not only did you get like the little cell phone notes thing and the auto build stuff, you're getting the entire game. Better performance, better graphics, maybe some other stuff I'm forgetting, but it's now the definitive way to play the game. For Mario Party Jamboree, when you buy the Switch 2 version, the entire Mario Party Jamboree game gets no added benefits. So no better performance, no better graphics, no nothing. It's just the Switch 1 game. On the main menu, it even has a Nintendo Switch logo, and then you switch over to the Switch 2 version, and that is just the added content, which is like a couple of mini games and some mouse control stuff and the game chat stuff, and that's it. They're two separate entities. This is crazy to me. This is one of the laziest things I have ever seen Nintendo do. How do you possibly defend this? And the crazy thing is, Mario Party Jamboree for the Switch 2 is $80 freaking dollars. $80 for Mario Kart World, I think is fine. I mean, I don't think it's fine. I think it's stupid, but I could defend it because this is something that's going to be supported for damn near a decade. You know, I'm not going to get into it, but you know what makes it a great game? Mario Party Jamboree is a $60 Switch game. It is not worth $20 extra to have a separate little mode, and that's it. Like, it doesn't affect the base game at all. That is crazy to me, man. $80 for that crap? That's, I mean, I hate using the word because sometimes, you know, you see people say it or it feels like clickbait or they're just being facetious a little bit. It is a scam, dude. A straight up scam. If it was $70, maybe. And that's still not a good deal, but it's like, well, at least it's not an $80 game. You know, you have that argument. You know, Nintendo's doing $80 games. At least that's not $80. But it is $80. Somebody who is smarter than me, that understands game development, tell me why they did not give us a Switch 2 version of Mario Party Jamboree. Because if I'm buying a Nintendo Switch 2 version of a game, I expect to get a Switch 2 version of a game. Is that too crazy? Is that out of the realms? Should I not feel like that? I don't know how you can argue against that. If I'm buying a version of a game, I should get that version of the game. But when you buy Mario Party Jamboree for the Switch 2, you get the Switch version. And it's not like one of these things where you get a Switch version and then you put it in your Switch 2 and it upgrades to the Switch 2 version. You're just getting the Switch version of Mario Party Jamboree for $80. And then you're getting some extra mini games that are a Switch 2 version. They are upgraded. They do have better performance. The majority of the game that you're buying is a Switch 1 version. And then you're getting a small percentage that is a Switch 2 version that has better graphics and performance. So Nintendo's showing you that they could make this with better graphics and better performance and more polished and mouse controls and all this stuff, but they're only doing it for a small part. So why is this called the Switch 2 version of Mario Party Jamboree? Now on the surface, again, you could say, well, it's $20 if you already own the game. That's fantastic. So just sell this as DLC, right? Just sell it as DLC, and then DLC is a Switch 2 version. Why am I buying a Nintendo Switch 2 game that is not a Nintendo Switch 2 game? I think that's the simplest way to put this. Why am I buying a Nintendo Switch 2 game that is not in fact a Nintendo Switch 2 game? I'm buying a Nintendo Switch 2 game that is a Nintendo Switch 1 game, and albeit it's a fantastic game, right? Mario Party Jamboree is amazing. It's one of the best Mario Party games they have ever made, and I think it deserves the praise. I know it seems like I'm talking in circles here, but what I'm trying to do is scan through my brain and see if I missed anything or if I don't understand the definitions, but this is crazy to me. And this does not bode well to future Switch 1 games getting Switch 2 versions, right? I am very excited for Kirby and the Forgotten Land because it seems like, the Switch 2 version is basically like an extension of the game. That seems great. So will the beginning part of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, like the entire Switch 1 version, will that only be Switch 1 graphics and performance, and then you'll get to a certain point and it'll switch to Switch 2 graphics and performance? I mean, that doesn't make sense, but look at Mario Party Jamboree, right? And what's crazy? The entire time that this game was coming out, I was saying that I feel like it's coming out so late in the Switch's life, they should have held this to the Nintendo Switch 2. We got 2 Mario Party games on the Switch. This could have easily been held to the Switch 2 and Switch 2 graphics, performance, polish, all that good stuff. And I feel like Nintendo knew they could have did that, but they thought, we'll just put it on the Switch and we'll double dip and we'll just add a little bit of extra on top and sell that for a Switch 2 version and get $80. Ha 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 ha. And we're the dumbasses who are falling for it. I mean, not me, and hopefully not you. Like I said, you can do whatever you want with your money, but this is crazy, man. This is a scam, and if you want to take my advice, I would say do not buy this. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, it really is up to you. I really want to hear your opinion, so let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. This is really dumb. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Peace out.